Wolverine 5910 of Gamers X here. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the escaping the Undertaker Netflix interactive movie. I sat down, watched it, and here's the thing. I knew they were gonna do something again because Black Mirror Bandersnatch happened, and I remember a lot of people were talking about that very movie, and and for Netflix to do something like this with WWE, that was something. So you're you're watching The Undertaker, yeah, but you're controlling the New Day's actions throughout the whole thing. So it's the New Day, they're trying to get the Undertaker's urn and try to do the power of positivity. And when you're going through this whole thing, you have choices. You're able to do whatever Kofi Kingston's gonna do, Xavier Woods, Big E. So, spoiler alert if you hadn't watched it, but I thought it was great, except for one thing. I'm gonna talk about it. So, you go through it, and the New Day are at Undertaker's door, and they're like, "Hey man, what's up? Listen, we're gonna get your urn. So, what do you say? What do you say?" And then Undertaker opens the door, and once you go into the door, you you're you're seeing things that definitely you would see in a horror film. So Kofi decides to take the stairs. Xavier Woods has to follow the mysterious fog, and Biggie's gonna look behind the curtain, see what's up. So you're choosing whatever. Like, okay, Kofi. If you're going with Kofi Kingston at first, and that's it. That's it. The thing. When I chose Xavier Woods first, right away, it's like, okay, I'm going through this, going through that. I'm going through what I choose, and then, and now I thought, okay, too bad I'm not gonna be able to see from no, like, the one thing I could maybe change about it is that that what was it that you're seeing all three parts while you're mainlining one particular um, choice when you're having the three split. That's the thing of the beginning, and I was so confused at first when I hear Big E calling for Kofi and Xavier for help. So, but I was able to go through it again, look at Kofi, look at what Kofi's gonna do, and okay, so with Kofi, you see Paul Bearer's picture, you see this weird painting, and it's calling out to Kofi for some weird reason. With Xavier, you're following the fog, but the fog's harmless. It's not going to do anything to Xavier Woods. And with Big E, he's seeing Undertaker's throne, and he's looking at the World Heavyweight Championship, saying he wants one. I'm like thinking, man, if they just not have the Universal belt, but have the World Heavyweight belt, that would be great. So, you see a spire, and Biggie is not uh he is not exactly a fan of spires. He has arachnophobia. So he sits down on Undertaker's throne, and what do you know, the throne captured Big E, and it's capturing his soul into the urn. So when all three of them are held in, you see the urn, and you see that there's two logos that are seen in the downstairs where Xavier Woods was at, right at the door. Also, it's right in the upstairs where um, Kofi was drawn to the painting. Then all three go, okay, let's not get separated this time, because it was Kofi's idea to go separate at first. He's like, no, let's all going together. So you go whichever downstairs or upstairs you're going through. So when you go downstairs, you see a morgue, and there's a body there, and the toe tag says Isaac Yankum. That's a Kane reference. And Xavier, like, everybody's seen the fog again, and Xavier was like, it's okay, I put my hand through the fog, nothing's gonna happen. And as he gets through the fog, you get the choice of where to stay or to go. So at first I went, and you see Undertaker gets Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods and him are, I mean, he's getting freaked out, and I forget what Undertaker says, but it scares Xavier Woods. Then you see, Xavier's okay, but if you chose to stay back while Xavier's being captured, Kofi and Big E do in fact work together to get to get the one key. Now, now where you decide to go upstairs or downstairs first, whoever keys the first key doesn't exactly open the urn. It doesn't. Only there's like one more lock. Is that Undertaker forged two keys? Well, forged one key, but he separated them, so you have to find the other key. So if you're going upstairs, there's the library, and with the library, there's this book that has a vial and says power on it. I first chose not to take it. I didn't know what was. So then, but if you do take it, yeah. So I know there's dark turns. I'm gonna also talk about that later. But then there's an alligator right above the shelf. Now, if you step on a certain floor, part of the floor, it's gonna open the alligator crocodile, I forget. So, but Kofi ends up separated because he sees that there's a passageway behind one of the other shelves, and if you go Kofi, you see that the Undertaker's Saw-like room. If you watch the movie Saw, you would know it's like that. So you get the choice of confronting the Undertaker, which I did, but I also saw what would happen if I fled. So when I did the second choice to flee, Kofi Kingston does the reference to Die Hard, which I thought was funny. But to confront, Undertaker gets him, and what just happened to my camera? Okay, over. It just, you know, overpowers Kofi. Then you see that they got the key. Xavier and Biggie got the key. I just I'm trying to. I know Xavier when they tried the first key, whatever the first key you choose, he comes out one of the or not the mausoleums, one of the caskets or whatever. But once you get their key, you unlock it, and you're in, and you're seeing. You get to see everyone's fears whenever you go back after you finish the task. One is Biggie being afraid of spiders, and and uh and Undertaker goes, he's trying to convey, he's trying to get he's trying to get Biggie to get on his side, but I didn't want to do that. There was gonna be some weird dark turns for that. I didn't want to do that, and it's the new day, so I'd rather have them together. So I chose for Biggie not to go for Undertaker. He's like, no, I'm staying with the New Day. And Kofi, it says, um, you see, he's watching TV, and it's when he was going through the WWE title bout, and Vince says, "You're nothing but a B plus player," and that's ruining him mentally until he breaks the TV. And well, when you choose that, Xavier's was like they're not gonna need you. I think it was like something sort of like, oh, we're not. They don't need you. You're just nothing. Like, cause Xavier, besides being part of the tag team overall, he hasn't had anything. He hasn't won a WWE title belt as far as I know. He wants to be part of King of the Ring, which has happening this week, I think. The tournament. Hopefully gets in. Other than that, he has like no singles run at all. So, but when you wake up, trying to get away from the fears that you see, all three members of the New Day are in a separate casket. They get out, so Undertaker's like, okay, I I have you in my house. You go to some, I forget the lines, but it's like, okay, I'll do the New Day, or like, okay, we're gonna take you on. Why don't you, Undertaker, he challenges them, and then when you see whoever challenges, like, okay, Kofi tackles, Big E charges, whatever you choose. And so there are two choices when Kofi and Xavier Woods have Undertaker basically restrained. Okay, you can either grab the urn or just not. You can either grab the urn or destroy it. So I grabbed the urn at first. So what happens is you escape the Undertaker, and the urn just teleports you back out of the house. But okay, think back what I said about the vial. The vial is a huge power up. So when I chose to take it again, I had Biggie take it, but once Big E is because I thought, okay, destroyed the urn. I figured, okay, it's better that I took the vial anyway. No matter how many times I did it, I figure, okay, I'm gonna take the vial because destroying the urn without the vial is not a good idea. So I kept changing the. I kept making sure take the vial. So Biggie drinks the vial, and this, and he destroys the urn, and Undertaker vanishes, I think, and and then there's the another casket with a purple glow, and the New Day go in, they teleport out. Now, one thing I had real hard time with was when I was going through Big E's story, because and I went through Xavier's and Kofi's. Once I went through Big E's turn, I was like, what? Okay, I did this, and no matter what I did to get the other key from the upstairs, I kept going back to the upstairs. It was annoying me. I was like, what? I'm supposed to go downstairs and pick up the other key. I already picked up the upstairs key. Why am I going upstairs over and over? Even and here's another thing: when you try to break the urn as Biggie wanted to, you're seeing a flash of the fears, and they're like, "Wait, what's going on?" Oh, plus in the end, Biggie has his soul still, and everybody's okay. Forgot about that. And I just like, so I restarted, went to the beginning, went through Biggie's story, and got the keys and did the same thing. That's one little, but I like what they did. I love the cinematography that went in. It was like how we saw with the cinematic matches of, like the AJ Styles and Undertaker match, the Bray Wyatt Braun Strowman match, one of the NXT matches. It felt like that, but the thing is, besides that one little thing that I talked about, where I had to go upstairs over and over and had to restart, I can't help but to think, if WWE, Vince McMahon really want to sell, I know I'm going at this again, but if he was going to sell to another streaming service, why not Netflix, which has much more of, it's been around since the 2000s, 2010s, that far into it. But the thing is, though, like, that's what I want. I want, if anything, don't sell the network, but if you're going to sell it to Netflix, they will have been like, okay, bam, just, they will separate out, probably. But, nope, Vince sold the network to NBC Universal, and now we get glitches on the monthly, the monthly NBC Universal streaming service glitches. Yeah. Like, no matter what, a commercial happening just as a match is happening, or the net, the pay-per-view doesn't work right. Thanks a lot, Vince. Thanks. But what I love also is you have the New Day at their natural way. Like, you see the comedy, you see what they do, and I love this. I love this because you're you're seeing them how they are in the ring, even how they are on up down down. This is something. If they do a sequel, yes, please, or even escaping Kane, or well, if Bray Wyatt was never released, escaping the Fiend. Can you imagine that? Escaping the Fiend? Oh, seeing this was just good. Imagine on the scale of what the Fiend can do. And, I was surprised that they were. I would love to see how that came to be. But overall, I thought it was good. So be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe. There we go. Click the notify bell. Look at the Mack of the Gamer Realm. His channel, his side channel, TCG Enterprises. Yeah, and new subscribers on this channel will get a shout out in the next video. Wolverine 59 with Gamers X signing out. The large rock hard. Have a good one.